Blog Talk Radio.
You are live at the Literary Lounge with your host, Destiny D, bringing you the newest and the brightest of the literary world right to your ear hole. Every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in, listen up, and learn something. This is the spot for new hot authors who are given the opportunity to shine. Each Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will showcase a new author here at the Literary Lounge. We are taking out the time to give all of our literary friends an opportunity to showcase their work. The New Author Spotlight is a platform that allows us to ask up to 10 questions or more to give you, the audience, the most in-depth current information about each writer in their literary piece. We will have a new guest every week. Stay tuned.
Hey, 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 this is your girl, Destiny D, live on WTLR Radio, and you are tuned into the Literary Lounge. Today's special guest that we're going to have today is a young lady by the name of Uniquely Lashay, and she has a new book titled Blessed with Beautiful Curves. And I wanted to give her an opportunity to have a 1-hour interview to learn a little bit about herself, a little bit about her book, how we can get in contact with her as far as any engagements or anything she might have in the near future. We're also trying to find out exactly how we can get a hold of her new book and things of that nature. I do want to see if she is available and on the line. So I have a few people in the queue, and she was unable to give me her last four of her numbers. So I'm going to be tagging a couple of people just to see if it's her. So don't be alarmed. We're going to see which one is her. Hold on just a moment, guys. Hello, is this Lashay?
Yes, hi, this me.
All right, great. I got you on the first go. You have a few people on the line as well. I know that like right before we were able to get on the line, there were like a little bit of delay or something with the show. So I was unable to get the last four of your phone number to know which one to make live. But that's okay. So we're good to go. I want to thank everybody who is tuning in and listening in. It is very important that you stick around because later on in the show, you'll be able to press the number 1 key and you'll be able to ask Lashay a question, okay? So please stay on the line and listen in because we want to give you an opportunity to ask any burning topic question that you might have for her. So what I want to do just to start out the show, I want to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself to the world.
Well, hey everybody, I'm Uniquely Lashay. I'm currently a fiction writer. I write urban fiction, Christian fiction, erotic. Right now I'm dibbling and dabbling in a little bit of everything this year. But I first started writing urban fiction. Blessed with Beautiful Curves. That is my number 1 bestseller in Christian fiction that dropped this year. It's a great read. I got so many great feedback on this book. So I would definitely recommend it to all people to read this book. It touched on a little bit of molestation, and it touched on a little bit of suicide awareness. So it's definitely it's a good read.
Oh, wow. Okay. So tell everybody where you from, like where you repping, because I hear some southern drawl in that voice of yours.
Yes, I'm from Georgia. Bainbridge, Georgia is a small town. In Georgia. Definitely like country. If you can hear it in my voice, definitely southern. So that's where I'm from.
Nothing wrong with that, though. Nothing wrong with that at all. So how did you begin writing? Like, what prompted you to start writing?
I started writing a couple of years back. I say probably about 5 years back, but I always was like a poetry writer, and that started way back when I was like 7 or 8 years old. I used to write poetry. I always loved to read any books. I started reading when I was young, but I started writing about 5 years ago when I was going through a hard time in my life. I had became homeless. I had lost my job. I had some like pending charges pinned against me at the time, and I basically just was going through a lot of depression. So after praying, talking to God and stuff like that, he was like, told me to write. So I started writing. Stories started coming to me. Characters started coming to me. It helped with my anxiety. It helped with my depression. It was just like my go-to to help uplift myself. So that's how I started writing.
Okay. That's a blessing within itself, that you were able to use your writing for therapy pretty much. And I've noticed that a lot of writers, that happen. So when you say, the depression and everything, what happened? Like, what prompted all of that to go about?
For one thing, I had some penal charges against me. With my son, he had like kind of went outside while I was sleeping, because at the time I was a single parent. So he was pretty much sick one day and he couldn't go to daycare. So he had opened the door and went outside, and one of the neighbors, instead of her calling or coming to knock on the door to make sure, somebody was there with him, she called the police, which all charges was dropped, you know what I'm saying? But at the time, it was pending, and I went into depression because I ended up losing my job behind it. I ended up becoming homeless. I couldn't make no money. So if I didn't have my job, I didn't have no money. So pretty much me being a single parent, trying to do the best I can, working overnight, it just went left. Everything went left. So I went to God. I prayed. He ended up sending me stories for therapy. I was writing at the same time. I was reading my Bible and stuff like that. So I ended up writing a whole full novel within like a year or two of everything going on. And
okay,
that's how
so
I started writing.
Did you mention it? Is that Blessed? Is that the book that you started writing?
No, Blessed was one of the stories that I started writing a year later. My first story that I wrote is called The Dilemma of a Savage Love. That's my very first book that I started writing.
Mm-hmm. That was more like the urban fiction that you was mentioning?
It was the urban fiction, yes. It was the urban fiction. I hadn't really got into, like, Christian fiction and all that. But I wrote Bless a year later, and it was actually a short story. A couple people, friends and everything, read it, and they was like, you need to turn this into a book.
That's normally how it happens. That's exactly normally how it happens. I've even told other writers, like, if you have a book that you've put out, but you don't want to keep your readers waiting for the next book, short stories are a good way to kind of keep them on your payroll.
Yeah.
That way they don't get lost in the mix while you're working on another full-length novel.
Yeah.
That works out normally pretty good.
Mhm.
I understand how all of that came about, and I'm glad that all of the charges and everything was dropped because that can easily happen to anyone. I've had situations where I did things for people not knowing that it was going to get me in trouble, like dropping a baby
Mhm.
off at home. I did that one time, and I never, I never did it again. Like I actually saw like the little girl because I knew her from down the street, and her father was treating her out to Wendy's to eat, and he was like, "Do
Mhm.
you mind if you take us home?" Not knowing that the man wasn't living with her, he pretty much was like, "You
Mm.
can drop me off at the store and just take her home," so she lived on the same street. So I dropped her
Mm.
off at home. She went in the house, and I waited to see whether or not she was going to come back, to the door or not, but she didn't. So I
Mhm.
automatically assumed somebody was in the house. But come to find out, nobody was there. And
Yeah,
she called.
definitely. It's easily stuff can happen like that.
Yeah, and it blew up real quick. And sometimes it's like you don't even expect things like that to happen, but they do. But I'm just glad that all is well. So how many children do you have?
I have 3 kids. At the time when this happened, I was a single mom and I was working overnight. And like I said, normally when I get up get off in the mornings, I drop all my kids off at school and daycare. But my son, he was battling like an asthma. He had just got bronchitis asthma. So the daycare he went to, they didn't want him to come to school that day. So me not thinking nothing about it, I was actually me and him was in the living room together, and I falling asleep. And the way my door is made, you would never think him being as small as he could open the door.
Wow.
So by the time
glad
I did wake up, everywhere, like I was like, whoa.
Yeah, see, they do tend to draw things out of proportion, and then CPS try to get involved, and then it's a big mess. But I'm glad that it wasn't, and he was okay, because it definitely could have went the other way. A lot of times, those like apartment complexes that people stay in, they're right by roads and highways and stuff, and it could have easily went left. But I'm thankful that he was safe and everything turned out okay. So
Yeah, definitely. He was safe. One of my neighbors, she didn't know was nobody there. So instead of her just knocking at the door and checking, she ended up calling the police, and it just went out of proportion. It was just a big old mess. But all the charges were dropped, upon, me getting a lawyer and family and friends watching for me, just how great of a mother I have always been and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, that right there. That was a blessing too, that you had character witnesses and all of that stuff too. And I'm pretty sure getting that lawyer set you back too. That's the only thing about getting in trouble without intending to. Is like it's hard for anybody to like just get legal representation, like because it costs so much. And it's like you already in a bad. Oh, you done lost your job. You dealing with all of this other stuff. You got to see a
every
lawyer.
little thing I had saved up, the lawyer ended up getting it all. So it definitely was a setback.
Yeah, but I'm glad that you bounced back and you started writing and you've gotten this book out. So can you tell us a little bit about like the main gist of what the book is about? I know you mentioned that it was about depression and a few other things. Is this more like a true story type of book, or give us a little bit of feedback?
This is a fictional book. It's nothing true about anything in this book. The characters are fiction, pretty much just people made up by me. Christy Hart, she is the main character. She's the girl that go to, pretty much going to church with her mom, because her mom is a single parent. So her mom, she want to lead them the right way. So she start like whenever she get off work, whenever she have time, she's taking her 3 kids to church. She wants them to, live life through the godly way, the Christianity way.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a single parent. She's taking her kids to church every Sunday, whatever, Sunday school, all of that good stuff, thinking that, just because it's a church, it's a safe place for her kids. So the pastor, he ended up molesting Christy at a young age, around 13 years old. When everything comes out, everything hit the fan, her mom ended up dying. Her mom ended up getting shot in the process of everything coming out. So she ended up losing her mom. Her brothers and sisters, they ended up going to foster care. So while they're in foster care, they split them up. So they never see each other again for about 10 years. So when she hit 18, she looking for her brothers and sisters. Remind you, her one sister, Ava, she ended up getting, good foster parents that adopted her, a white couple, and they pretty much treated her with, the right way, and pretty much led her the right way, educational wise. So she ended up, her sister Christy ended up finally seeing Ava, and Ava just like, look, that part of my life, it don't kind of exist no more. I really don't want to be dealt though with you. You know what I'm saying? Because she feel like she better than, what went on with her mom and her sister now. So her brother John, he ended up being adopted, but he ended up being molested in the process of his adoption and foster care. So he ended up getting on drugs. So his life go the totally opposite way.
Oh, wow.
So Christy, she ended up meeting an older lady who was like a black business owner, and she pretty much hired her to work in her coffee shop and donut shop. But Christy, she didn't go to college, because she got a daughter that she got to raise that came from the molestation. So college is something that she wasn't able to do. But she ended up getting a job, working, full time, and provided for her daughter the best way she could. So it's all of these 3 people, different life going on in this book. And John, her brother, his story touched my heart because John ended up committing suicide in this book because he couldn't beat the fact that, he was on drugs. He let it pretty much take him over. He ended up betraying Christy, getting her daughter kidnapped, and he ended up, getting back on drugs after his sister tried to help him get off drugs. She takes him into her home. You know what I'm saying? She feel bad because what happened with their mom. She kind of feel responsible, and at the end of the day, her brother actually blames her for her mother's death. So she's not gonna find out that he blames her till the end of the book though. So it's definitely a deep book. You got Lucky. He's the guy. He actually is the preacher's son. So Christy don't know this, and he don't know her. So he know his dad went to jail for molesting a girl, but he don't know that Christy is the girl. So Lucky, he ended up becoming grown after living with his aunt and uncle for so many years. He took the church that his dad owned, and he sold it. Took the money. He started flipping the money. He started becoming like a big time dope dealer in the city. He ended up making millions and making a lot of money, but he went through a lot in the process of making this money. He had people betraying him, like friends. At the same time, he juggling depression and financial issues and stuff like that. So him and Christy, they end up actually meeting up, and then you have to read the end. So it's definitely a good book, though.
That is definitely something to read. I mean, just with what you told me about the book, it sounds so real. That, I mean, it's meant to, but it sounds like something that has actually taken place, and you just airing out everybody dirty laundry.
Yes, it's just stuff I have seen around me in the process of me living. So it just, most of the characters
Wow.
are just people I have encountered throughout my life.
Yeah. So that's kind of crazy because, like, I'm listening to, like, what you're saying as far as the storyline, and I'm like, if Christy hooked up with Lucky, then that would mean that her child is his brother and he don't even know it, like, or sister, whatever the sex of the baby. He got a sibling, and then they're gonna be brothers and sisters. And if they have a child, then that child is gonna be the brother or sister or uncle or aunt of the first child.
Definitely. It's the storyline is crazy, but it's so interesting because it's like these people never knew each other. You know, fate brought them together. So, Lucky, you know, he definitely trying to be a better man than his father was because his father went to jail when he was around, like, 14 years old. 14 years old. So he ended up living his teenage years and his adult life without his father, without his mom. Remind you, his mom is the one that shot Chris. So his mom is doing time in prison. His father is doing time in prison. So he's stuck with living with his uncle and auntie, which, he thankful that they took him in. And then he get close with one of his cousins named Scar. Scar, he's trying to live the right way. His mom and dad is Christian. They trying to pull him away from Lucky. They want him to live a better life than being a drug dealer and being in the streets. So it's all of this stuff going on.
That's crazy because, like, how do you go from being a PK to a drug dealer? But then again, how do you go from a pastor and a first lady to being two convicts? So it's like one extra to the next. That is so awesome. I applaud your imagination and how you put everything together. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm very, and I would love to read your book and give you a review and have the opportunity to, like, read it from front to back because it definitely sounds like a great read. What made you select these particular characters, and which one is your favorite out of the bunch?
My favorite character is John John out of this story, and a lot of people ask me why. And it's just like John John is a young black male. He encountered molestation through the foster care system. He don't know how to cope with it, so he turned to drugs. So when he turns to drugs, he tries to get off. His sister tries to help him get off. They try to help him get off of drugs. He go to rehab. He get back out, and he end up getting back on drugs. After Christy take him into her home and all of that, or whatever, because she just she want to have that connection with her brothers and sisters, or whatever. So he ended up getting back on drugs, and he pretty much let the depression and the addiction and all of that pretty much, like, outbeat him. You know what I'm saying? So he ended up turning to suicide. He ended up, killing himself. And in the process of him killing himself, he left, his sisters behind. He left a niece behind. All of these people, they grieving, the loss of him. Because, like, Christy them never got to fully know him again. Even though he was her brother, like, she was trying to reconnect with him. But in the process of her trusting him, because he is her blood, he betrays her, and her daughter ended up getting kidnapped by a guy that she had, Christy had met in the beginning of the story named Peter. And Peter is the brother of the guy Lucky ended up killing. So Peter is out for revenge for his brother's death, and Lucky at the time is like, he don't know Peter, but Peter been watching him and know that him and Christy is hooking up. So he ended up kidnapping Christy's daughter. And he like, I want Lucky. So if y'all bring Lucky to me, you can get your daughter back. But John ended up helping him kidnap his niece because he blamed Christy for what happened to his mom. So
Wow.
it's definitely a good read. It's a twist, turn, so you have to read the whole story to understand like where everything is going. It's definitely a
Wow.
good read.
Wow. That's all I can keep saying. I mean, it's a really, really, it sounds really good. So how long did it actually take you to write this book from start to finish?
Well, like I told you, I started writing. It was a short story. I actually left this book alone for about 4 years. I didn't even look back at the short story. I left it alone. Um, it came back up this year, and it took me like a month and a half to write the finishing part of this story because the characters were just like talking to me so much, like I couldn't even sleep. They was coming to me, so I was up every day, every night writing until I got this book finished. So it's definitely is a good read.
Yeah. So when did you release it? Like, what was the date of release?
This book was released because I don't want to tell you no story. I think it was released around February. I think it was
Okay.
like February, beginning of February. I think it was released. Like I think
Okay.
February the 1st, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was released around February the 1st or the end of January,
Okay.
around that time. So,
All right. That's awesome. So where can we go to find your books right now?
it's on Amazon, so you can go to Amazon. If you got Amazon Kindle, you can read it for free. With the unlimited, if not, it's only I think $1.99 or 99 cents, something like that. I have got a lot
Okay.
of like great feedback off this book. Like, I couldn't believe it hit bestseller because I mean I never seen that coming. So, this is my first bestseller, but it definitely is a good story. Christy, she endured so much in this book. Like she didn't see where God was taking her, but pretty much she ended up coming out on top of everything. She ended up being way blessed than she could ever be. So it's definitely a good story for people who are going through things in life, who don't see the positive outcome of it. It just shows you, how God can take you from this, being this hurt, molested child, to her being adult, going through things in her adulthood, but end up being blessed in the end. So it's definitely a good read.
Good, good. Well, just to let you know, we're at the halfway mark of the show, and what I want to do is I want to give us a small break, and then when we come back, right, I want to give anybody that's on the line an opportunity to ask you a question. So you guys stay on the line, and we're going to open up the lines in just a moment where you can ask Miss Lashay a question. So y'all guys stay tuned, okay?
Okay.
This is the spot for new hot authors who are given the opportunity to shine. Each Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will showcase a new author here at the Literary Lounge. We are taking out the time to give all of our literary friends an opportunity to showcase their work. The New Author Spotlight is a platform that allows us to ask up to 10 questions or more to give you, the audience, the most in-depth current information about each writer in their literary piece. We will have a new guest every week. Stay tuned.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Literary Lounge with your host, Destiny D, and we are live on WTLR Radio, and today's date is March 16, 2019, and we are on episode 42, I believe. And today's special guest is none other than Miss Uniquely Lashay, and we have been discussing her great book, Blessed with Beautiful Curves, and I have the most highest intentions of reading that book because of this interview. So if you guys have a moment of your time, if you have some funds in your account, please, 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 please go to Amazon and look up her new book and give her a chance. She also mentioned that it was on Kindle. If you have Kindle Unlimited, that everything is free. So you guys give her an opportunity to read her new book. So what we want to do right now is we want to offer the opportunity for those who have called into the station, the number one key if you have a question for Lashay. That way she can answer it live on the air. So if you're listening to me and you have a question, feel free to ask your question by pressing the number one key. That will indicate to me that you have a question. So we'll pause just for a moment to see if you have a question. Okay, so it looks as if whoever that's on the line is not not ready to ask a question. Maybe they're just here for more support. So we like to thank them for tuning in. So we don't have any questions as of right now. But if you do change your mind, all you have to do is press the number one key, and we'll be happy to buzz you in. Now, to get back to the interview, can you tell us a little bit about anything that you have coming up in the near future, any book signings or engagements, or anything that you're looking forward to, and I guess in the next couple of months or so?
Yes, I have a couple things going on right now. I got a book that drops Tuesday on March the I want to get the date wrong. I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. I want to make sure I have the date right. I got a book that dropped on my company, Unique Creations Publications. It called The Things We Never Say. It's actually a black woman, white man release. This is my first one I ever did. It released on the 19th of this month on Tuesday. It's about a girl named Ocean. She's pretty much, grown up in Macon. It's kind of like, like a little racist state, a little racist city. So she never pretty much integrated with a lot of different races. So her moving to, New York after a bunch of things happened in her life, like devastation, she just ended up, meeting a Italian guy, and they end up pretty much, learning that they come from two different worlds and falling in love, learning that they both can bring different things to the table, to the relationship. It's definitely was a challenging book for me, which come out March the 19th. And then I have another book that comes out. I've been working, so I got another book that comes out on Dream Writers group, which is JJ the Writers Publishing Company. I write up under him as well, which Bless was dropped up under his company. It called The Mysteries of a Jacksonville Bully, and it's definitely is a dope read. You definitely have to check this one out. So I can't even tell you what I'll go on in this book. So it definitely was a different type of writing for me, but it just was a great, exciting work that I have did with JJ the Writer. So y'all definitely check out his publisher company, Dream Writers Group. They have like many dope books. Like mine is One of the Million. Bless was dropped up under his company. I also been doing my own little publishing company with Unique Creation Publications with Miss D, the writer. We both we have signed like 4 writers now. So it's definitely more to come from me. It's definitely more to come with my writing. I just been so inspired, by people who actually supported me, showing me so much love in the industry. You always have the haters, but you always have so many supporters that outweigh the haters. So definitely, my writing has been a blessing from God, something that nobody can take away from me.
That is indeed true. That is indeed true. So do you have any physical events that anybody can see you at as far as like book signings?
Yes, I had went to Hampton, Virginia a week ago and did a book signing there with the magazine company. Me and Miss D, we was there last weekend, but I will be doing my own book signing here in Bainbridge, Georgia for some of the local readers that I have that been supporting me. I will be doing that in April. I will have all my books on hand, so they will be on sale for $10. So if you are in the area or you close in the area by Georgia, Bainbridge, Georgia is the spot 229. So that's the area code. So y'all please come check me out. I haven't really did any new book signings since I went to Hampton a week ago, but I plan on doing more events and try to be more in the spotlight, with the traveling. But it's just been hard, due to the fact that I still work. So right now it's just like I write a lot. I don't get to travel as much as I want to, but hopefully next year brings more traveling. I'm supposed to be doing a brunch in Detroit, Michigan with Miss Tiffany Gilbert. So definitely I'll be in that spot next year. I'm hoping next year I can get out to Atlanta to the kickback. I didn't make it this year, but my goal is to make it next year. So definitely, y'all keep checking me out. And whenever I find out what spots I will be in, I definitely will let y'all know.
All right. And for those who want to get in contact with you, can you drop all of your information as far as your social media, website, and all of that good stuff?
Okay. You can find me at Lashay Perkins on Facebook. I also have an author page, authoress Lashay Perkins. I have another fan page, Uniquely Lashay. So that's 3 pages on Facebook alone. Then you can find me on Wattpad at Fancy Shay 1. You can find me on Instagram at Fancy Shay 1. You can find me on Twitter at Fancy Shay Perkins. I haven't got a Snapchat yet, but I'm working on that. So those are like 5 pages you can find me on. I have different interviews. I have did interviews with Voyage magazine in Atlanta. That interview went live this year. So if you look it up, it's Voyage magazine in Atlanta, and you type in Lashay Perkins, that interview will come up. It tells you more details about me and what I've been through as an author. I also tell you upcoming events that I got. I try to do many interviews as I can to just connect with the readers, let them know, like, the stuff I have been through as an author, that, stuff I write about is stuff that I seen, just my view on the world, period. So I try to do many interviews as I can.
Okay. And if you had anything that you would like to let the listeners know, what would that be?
I definitely want to shout out my Easter books that dropped in April. It's called Easter Sunday. It's a 6 different authors. Part 1 and 2 is a series. 3 authors are putting together short stories. So y'all check those out coming April the 19th and April the 20th. It's a collab with different authors from different companies. So we bring in, a different variety of different writers together, giving the readers like 3 different stories in one book. So you can't get no better than that. And they will be on sale for $1.99 on Amazon. They drop April the 19th and April the 20th. They call Easter Sundays, which will be dropping on my company, Unique Creation Publications. And all of these great authors have come together and did a collab. And I just hope everybody check those books out. So that's my last thing I would like to say.
All right. Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening in because we have learned a great deal about you and your new book and everything that you got going on in the near future. And I'd like to take the opportunity to thank you because I know that, when you're on radio and stuff like that, it's hard to dedicate a full hour to a show because you have other things going on. You have your family, you have your work and everything. So I really want to take out this time to thank you for taking out the time to be in on the show with me. I encourage anybody who's listening and tuning in to this radio interview, if you need to touch base with Miss Lashay, for future books that you would like to have published through her. She's giving you all of her platforms for you to reach her at. If you're interested in reading some of her books, please feel free to contact her or look her up on Amazon to select a few of her books. We just want to support her as much as we can. That's what the Literary Lounge is all about. We're here to uplift the Black writer, to give them an opportunity to showcase their talent and to let the world know what they do, how long they've been doing it, and all that good stuff. So we really do appreciate you and your literary work and your brilliant, brilliant mindset and everything that has allowed you to take everything that you've dealt with in life and to put it in writing. Because some people, it's very hard to express themselves. So when you find a niche as far as writing and you're able to give everything 100% of yourself in your writing, it makes a world of difference, and you can actually tell in the books that you read. So thank you for what you do. We really appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing bigger and better things from you, and I'm definitely interested in getting a hold to a copy of your book. So if you have any shout-outs or anything that you want to do right now as far as like the people who have supported you since day one, feel free to do so at this time.
I would like to shout out T.Y. Robertson. He's a great supporter, friend. He's an author. I would like to shout out Miss D. She's been very, very positive with helping me continue to write no matter what. I would like to shout out JJ the writer. If you haven't checked out any of his books, he's a great publisher and author. I would definitely like to shout out my family and friends, from my mom to my fiance, Xavier Davis. He's been backing me. He's been supporting me to the fullest. He went with me to a book signing last week in Hampton, Virginia, at the Overrated Magazine Company event. It was a success. Ms. D had her books there, selling them. We were just out promoting, pretty much giving out our flyers, letting people know in Virginia about our books and stuff like that. I definitely hope to have more events coming up soon. I definitely will post them on my Facebook page, Lashay Perkins, and I'll post them on my Uniquely Lashay page on Facebook. Type those words in, you can find me. I'm always on Facebook. Pretty much I try to contact with my readers every day. I'm the type of author you can inbox me. I would definitely respond. If you come in on my post, I respond. So definitely check me out. And I thank you for this opportunity to let me, get my story out there as an author, because a lot of people don't know as an author what authors go through or what they have been through. They just know we write.
That's true. That's true. And I'm glad that you were able to do that. I'm glad that you were able to let everybody know what's going on and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, I would like to also kind of plug in when it comes to the aspect of your book and the situation that we were discussing about molestation and how things can come about when it comes to that particular topic, I would like to stress that if there's anybody that is tuning in and listening to this show, I'm about to say something that's really real, so I need y'all to pay attention. There are a lot of people in this world who have been molested. And it's a shame that it doesn't get rectified the way that it should. A lot of times we're looking at the victim and we're blaming the victim, saying, oh, they should have been dressed type of way. Oh, it's their fault. They shouldn't have done this. They shouldn't have been in this particular place by themselves. We should stop the victim blaming, and we should start assisting and stopping this epidemic, because it's starting to come out more and more and more that people are being sexually assaulted, and it's not just the females now, it's the males, and some of these predators don't care if they're male or female. They're assaulting young men. They are raping young girls, and some of these children are products of these rapes. And you know, a lot of the family has told these victims, well, we don't believe in abortion, this, that, and the other. So the child or the person who's been assaulted has to live the fact that their child resembles the predator that attacked them. And this is something that is very hard for people to live with.
Yes,
I encourage anybody who has been through anything similar to that, please, some help, okay? There's nothing wrong with talking out your problems. There's nothing wrong with seeking counseling. There's nothing wrong with telling somebody what's going on, because a lot of times when you bottle everything up, it ends up going the wrong way. We need to know who these predators are. They need to be held accountable for what they're doing. So if you are being assaulted by someone, whether it be a family member, a friend, or somebody on a job or something like that, tell somebody. And if they don't do anything about it, then you continue to tell somebody different until something else happens. Somebody needs to be brought justice for the things that they're doing. And I feel really bad for those who have endured this type of thing, because it's not fair to them. I encourage anybody who has had the thoughts of suicide to please seek help. Please talk to someone to try to get those feelings out so that you don't take it upon yourself to end your life. I have had too many people whose lives have been lost due to not being able to go to somebody in confidence and talk to them about the situations that they have. Suicide is one of the highest ranking deaths among young people, because they don't know who to turn to, and they feel like whoever that they, as far as adults, will look at them in a different way than what they need help with. So I encourage anybody who is dealing with sexual assault, please get in contact with somebody. If you don't know who to call me, 434-228-1168. I'm here. I'll be more than happy to discuss whatever you have going on. And if there's anything that I can do to help your situation, I will try with the best of my ability to do so. For those who need help with the possibility of committing suicide, you don't know where to turn, you don't know who to look to, the number is available. Please call me. I'd rather you call me than to make a hasty decision that you can never take back. You are loved, whether if you know it or not. We do appreciate you. There's more to life than just what happened. We can fix some things. We can talk through some things. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I know that we're right at the end of the show, but I just had to get that off my heart, because I've seen it so many times where we've lost all of these young people, and it just needed to be said. I pray that anybody that has heard this show, please, if you need help, call for help. Please do not take it upon yourself to do anything drastic. And for those of you who are doing the wrong things that we just mentioned, you're putting your hands on children, you're doing things that you know that is not right, stop and seek help, because you guys need help as well. Pedophiles need help.
Definitely.
Sexuals need help. Don't think that it's just something that you can do and there's no repercussions behind it. I mean, you have to know that those things are wrong. And if you don't know that those things are wrong, I'm telling you now, those things are wrong. Sir, ma'am, seek help. Because there's female predators out here just as bad as male predators. And I feel bad for, like,
Definitely.
the young folks who have been assaulted by their babysitter. That's not nothing cool. Because, like, at one time they
Yes.
were saying, oh, cool for a young boy to get his cherry popped or whatever by his babysitter or by his school teacher or something like that. That is not right. That is still wrong. That is still taking the innocence of a child. You don't do that.
Definitely. Yes, and
Yes.
what you speaking on the women predators,
Yeah, they glorify
I'm glad
the
you
wrong
said that.
Yeah, things get glorified the wrong way. Men should not be after young women. I mean, you're a grown man. You don't need to go after 3-year-old babies. It sickens me to hear some of the news stories, like the guy that's on trial right now for sexually assaulting a 3-year-old baby. You don't do things like that. Something is seriously wrong with you. This baby transmitted diseases because of this man, and I feel bad because there was nobody there to protect this child.
Yeah, I seen that one.
Whatever that man gave him or her or whatever. So it's like it's gonna be an ongoing process, and I just pray that anybody that's been affected by it seeks help. Anybody that's thinking of doing it or has done it or should be prosecuted for it, y'all need to get help too. And y'all need to come clean with what you've done so that justice can be served on the behalf of the victim.
I definitely agree with you on that part.
Yeah, I just had to let that be known. But yeah, you guys, if you have any final reflection, please, you can say so right now. You have about 7 more minutes left. So, okay. So what I'll do in closing, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to the show. Feel free to listen to the playback. We have a link that we'll be providing on Facebook on our timeline where you can click on to listen to the show in its entirety. We also have the show that will be aired on our YouTube channel. So if you're looking for us on YouTube, all you have to do is type in Transparency Library, and you'll be able to see the channel, and you'll be able to hear the entire playback of the show, or either you can click on the link that will be provided later on and listen to the full interview. So like I said before, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. For those who were listening live, for those who are planning to listen later on, thank you so much for all of your love and support. And we're going to see you guys next week with another special guest. So I want to thank you, Miss Lashay, for everything that you've done today. And continue writing, continue pushing, and continue to spread your message. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And thank everybody for listening in.
All right, sweetheart. You have a good day, okay?
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to, just let people know about my books. But I definitely want to say thanks for saying what you said at the end about the child molestation with women, because a lot of people don't see that part. They only think that men predators are the only predators.
Yeah, unfortunately, it goes both ways, and I wish it was different. I wish that people had that compass, but they don't. It's like everything has been switched off. It's like the world has glorified all of the negative stuff, so people tend to do it more than anything else. I know that the Bible says that things or times are supposed to wax worse and worse, but at the end of the day, some of this stuff, it could be stopped with just the simple fact of having morals or to have a conscience about what they do and who they do it to. There's too
Yeah.
many adults in the world to where you couldn't find a mate. There's too many situations that could be avoided just by people being in groups, people being not singled out and stuff like that. So, matter of fact, if you are a young woman and you feel the need to like go out, do things, have fun, this, that, and the third, do not go alone. Please try to go in a group. Yeah, try to stay in groups. Have like a girlfriend night or something like that. Don't try to go out by yourself because that leaves you open for a potential predator to like single you out and try to attack you on your own. So there's strength.
I have seen that happen.
Yeah, there's definitely strength in numbers. And you got to be careful because not even the Uber is safe. I've seen different stories where the predator actually mimicked himself to be an Uber driver, and it just so happened that the girl in the back seat got a notification on her phone that her Uber had just arrived while she was riding in the back seat. And once she realized that the car was not her Uber, she literally jumped out and tucked and rolled like at the stoplight. So, yeah, they've gotten smart. They've gotten really smart. They've kind of mimicked themselves to be
this
blending
new technology is giving them more chances too. I'm just gonna be honest with that.
Huh?
That's crazy. I said this new technology, like the Ubers, Facebook, all this Twitter, all this stuff like that, Instagram, like they inboxing these girls. Trust me, I can have so many come in my inbox, and I tell them I'm married. Don't come in my inbox.
Yeah, and see that's a lot of them do work online now, to the point to where they know that the person is underage because they've looked at all the profile pictures and they know that it's a young girl, and they'll make themselves look younger through the pictures and stuff like that to entice them to meet them at the mall. And the mom will take them to the mall thinking that they're meeting one of the girlfriends from school or something like that, and it's a grown man waiting on them. So I encourage anybody that don't be online looking for love or looking for friends. The world,
that's true.
And you can't believe everything you see on Facebook because anybody can take a picture and make a profile and it be somebody completely different waiting on the other end. Do not make meetings online. You don't know who you meet. I don't care if you FaceTime. FaceTime is one thing because you can see people face to face on FaceTime. But when you make meetings and stuff like that and you don't know who you meet, child, you better stay at home. Now that's my mama.
That's what I have learned. I have told my daughter, if you can't go nowhere with me or your father, or you can't go nowhere with your grandma, wherever you're trying to go, movies, whatever, you can't go with us, then you don't need to be going.
That's right. That's right. And with that being said, we're going to end the show. Y'all be safe, and thank y'all so much for tuning in. You were listening to The Literary Lounge live on WTLR Radio, and that was Miss Lashay, uniquely Lashay. So thank you guys, and y'all have a great day, okay?
All right. Thank you.
You are live at the Literary Lounge with your host, Destiny D, bringing you the newest and the brightest of the literary world right to your ear hole. Every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in, listen up, and learn something.
All right, guys, make sure that y'all tune in next week because we're going to have another special guest by the name of Miss Nicole Scott. She is another great author that we're going to have next week. So y'all make sure y'all tune in, okay?
This is the spot for new hot authors who are given the opportunity to shine. Each Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will showcase a new author here at the Literary Lounge. We are taking out the time to give all of our literary friends an opportunity to showcase their work. The New Author Spotlight is a platform that allows us to ask up to 10 questions or more to give you, the audience, the most in-depth current information about each writer in their literary piece. We will have a new guest every week. Stay tuned.